Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to this session on how to strike your toms and your cymbals. Let's talk about the cymbals for just a second. These are big cymbals. This is a 21, 24, and a 22-inch cymbal. They're loud and they're warm. And because they're big, often we think that we can just hit them super hard, but you can overhit a cymbal, and you can hit a cymbal incorrectly. You don't want to take your stick and power through a cymbal so hard that the cymbal might even fall off of the stand if you don't have the little locks on top. But you don't really want to hit through a cymbal as much as you want to hit a cymbal and come off of it and let the cymbal do its own work. But finding the sweet spot of where each cymbal kind of exists is kind of important. So think about this. A lot of times we play with in-ear monitors. Take your ears out and hit each cymbal, swell each cymbal, and kind of find the spot that each one of those cymbals sound the best, because it's a different spot. Now the cool thing about these is they're very dynamic, so you can play them lighter and you can do nice swells and they'll do a great job. But there is a place where the cymbal goes beyond what it's intended to do, where you hit it too hard and it just sounds harsh and brittle. Let me give you an example. It's a 22-inch ride cymbal that we use as a crash. I'm gonna hit it. I'm not gonna hit through it. I'm gonna kind of hit it and get off of it and see what it sounds like. Now here's me overhitting this cymbal. As you can tell, there's a significant sound change and even like brightness change between those two hits. What you don't want to do is hit your cymbals so hard that all that ever comes off of them is the bright, abrasive, high-end, overhit cymbal sound. Cymbals are here to dynamically like exclamation point your grooves and the ending of your sections and your stings and your builds. And if you overhit your cymbals, you could really take away from that moment dynamically because of the way that we hit them. Figure out where each cymbal has a sweet spot, and you don't need to overplay your cymbal. Even if you're hitting the heck out of your drums, try to be controlled with your hands on your cymbals. I think it'd be really helpful. So again, don't hit through the cymbal, get off it quickly, and don't hit it so hard that you push it beyond its natural sweet spot as it resonates. Now with the ride, a lot of rides, this is specifically as a crash ride, and a lot of other rides, they're meant to be like a ping ride or a lot of stick definition or a bell. This one kind of does all three really well, but it's kind of meant in this setup to be another crash, but it's kind of like the lowest and the biggest, warmest crash sound that we have. So you can kind of go ahead and play on it. So go ahead and listen to this. I didn't have to hit that very hard for that to be really loud. And part of, again, that is taking your ears out and listening what the cymbals do naturally when you hit them, and then try to be really consistent with your attack on those. Keep them slanted a little bit towards you so that it doesn't, you don't attack it too much on the edge. You could end up cracking the edge of your cymbals if you do that. Let's talk about the toms for just a second. You need to approach these different than you would a snare drum. Whereas a snare drum, you're looking to hit the rim and the drum head at the same time to get that crack. You don't really want a rim sound contributing to your tom stroke. And so set your drums up in a way where your natural stroke of your hands doesn't come at too steep of an angle, which could dent or take coating off, or too flat of an angle where you could accidentally end up hitting rim shots. And so your rack tom is going to be a little bit different than your low toms, but has much to do with your seat height and your natural swing of your arms with the sticks. So you just want to get that natural middle of the tom resonance that they kind of want to do on their own. So check this out. So as you can see, just kind of hitting those toms in the center of them and not reaching too far for them, not too steep of an angle, not too flat of an angle, to let the toms do the work that they naturally want to do and the work that you tuned them to do to kind of fit in to the music that you're playing. So to sum it all up, again, much of this has to do with the way that you set your kit up. And so keep the cymbals slanted a little bit towards you. Don't attack them too much on the edge like this, but try to sweep off of them and learn your cymbals and learn what they dynamically want to do on their own, and don't overhit them, and then use all of the dynamic levels that the cymbals can do. And with your toms, set them up in a way that your natural stroke isn't too flat, isn't too steep. No rim shot and no dents and no coating coming off. That should really serve your setup really well. So if you have any questions about any of that, let us know. We'll try to help.